Yeah, okay. That's a really good one because there are three of us. That makes sense, actually. That would have been good.
I don't know which one is who's Mo, who's Larry, who's Curly.
Yeah.
But Shemp was
No Shemp. What happened to Shemp?
He was in Florida officiating a wedding.
Shemp's like the.
All right, I'll throw one out there. I love the musical stylings of singer-songwriter William Joel, a.k.a. Billy Joel.
William Joel.
I think that could be fun.
That's very fancy.
Should we, how do we decide?
Yeah.
I think we should.
What do we do?
I'm always in a New York state of mind, but.
Who isn't, really?
Yeah, but.
I like to be in an Italian restaurant, actually.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My favorite scenes.
That's really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
should we do like a little like, do we do a vote or should we do maybe like rock, paper, scissors? How do you decide?
Let's do it. Let's get in front
Okay.
of this.
All right.
Rock, paper,
Who's
scissors.
who? I'm Abba.
Okay.
You're
Actually, you know, there actually is a predetermined winner. Yeah, just so we know, it's not.
Who goes first?
You go first because you're a rock.
Okay.
Let's hear it for rock.
Okay.
Let's hear it for rock. What do you think?
That's Abba. Give it up to the Moyle. All right. Well, I think
this
you
is
just
very-
railroaded that through. I'm just
I
telling you.
did.
Okay.
You know, I have a certain style,
Okay.
and it works well for
Oh,
this. Okay.
I don't
where
know,
are my
where-
songs? Do you have all the song sheets?
We were prepared. Okay, here we go.
were.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. I needed two.
Here, we'll share. We'll share.
All right, here we go.
We'll just stack it on the Megillah.
Okay.
Sacred text. Here we go.
Are you starting?
Am I starting?
All right, you start.
Are we starting with the chorus?
It's Erev Hanukkah.
I thought we were doing Sing Us a Song.
Let's do
Okay.
the chorus first. And we don't. You don't have the words, but just
You'll pick it up.
You'll pick it up. Sing us
a
a song for the Purim spiel.
Sing it and make sure it rhymes. 'Cause we're all in the mood for some silliness. And we've got Hamantashen tonight. It's Erev Chag in our synagogue. The community's all coming in. Sure, we do a spiel each and every year, but don't tell me how it all ends. Oh, la da 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 da. Look at the head bobs. La da 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 da. Sing us a song for the Purim spiel.
Sing us a song.
Sing it and make sure it rhymes.
'Cause we're all in the
'Cause
mood.
we're all in the mood for some silliness.
We've got Hamantashen.
And we've got Hamantashen tonight.
We are here to celebrate our Purim victory. From years ago in Persian times, there was Mordecai, Esther, and Haman, the last of which did all those crimes.
Oh, la da 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 da. La da 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 da. Sing us a song for the Purim spiel. Sing it and make sure it rhymes. 'Cause we're all in the mood for some silliness.
We've got Hamantashen.
And we've got Hamantashen tonight. Well, we hope you enjoy our little parody of the song you might hear in the mall.
Good, Ma.
Sure, we know you want to see Billy Joel, but his agent ignored all our calls.
Go figure.
La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Sing us a song for the Purim spiel.
Sing it and make sure it rhymes.
Sing it and make sure it rhymes.
'Cause we're all in the mood.
'Cause we're all in the mood for some silliness.
We've got Hamantashen.
And we've got Hamantashen tonight. Thank you. We'll be playing Madison Square Garden all week. Thank you so much.
All right, I think it's time to hear the spiel.
Should we do the story?
Yeah.
We should hear the story of Purim.
As with anything, we begin with blessings. And
Switch me.
yeah,
Ooh, give me a dogger, though.
Yeah, go.
We begin with our blessings for the reading of the Megillah. Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu mikra Megillah. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avoteinu le'imotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyemhanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, God of our ruler, God, ruler of all, who has made us holy through mitzvot and commanded us to read the Megillah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all, who has performed wonders for our ancestors in those days at this time of year. And blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, who created us, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this special time. Amen. And before we read, we do this with all ages. You're going to hear the names of all of our characters, and we need your participation. So obviously we know we boo for Haman, boo. So let's practice the booing, boo. If you have, we need something for Esther. We cheer, right? Yeah. So let's Esther. But we also have Vashti and Mordechai and Achashverosh and Barbie. Barbie appears in. Also,
I like Ken.
So we need something for Vashti.
Oh, yeah.
But so we need like a something to hear. We need to hear.
All right.
All right. That's good. Can we do all right?
All right.
All right. And then we have Achashverosh. We did that last year and it really worked. And Mordechai. I guess we can cheer for Mordechai. All right. So let's practice. Haman.
Oh.
Esther.
Yeah.
Vashti. Achashverosh. And Mordechai?
Why don't we do hooray for Mordechai?
Mordechai, hooray! I like that. All right.
All right, a little bit different.
All right, so we've got.
But we're going to hear the Megillah first.
Oh, you're going to chant. All right, you're going to chant from.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 3. I thought we were going to do chapter 1 and then because you need to do the.
What do you want? You want to do English first, or
Let's do 1 and then when we get to chapter 3.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
We practiced this.
This is a meeting at the Mound, but it's like available to all of you.
Should we make some more decisions?
Yeah, where's
by
the pitching
jumping
coach?
each other
Yeah.
on paper? I have it.
And we have.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. Paper.
And Thalia, you're going to come and help us as well because we need an extra reader.
Yeah.
Rabbi
Do you
Thalia
want
Halpert
more-
wrote
do you want
us.
more readers?
Let's see. Rabbi Thalia Halpert wrote us. Thank you so much for helping us.
Yes. You are voluntold.
Hooray!
You're voluntold.
No, I think we're good. Okay,
Just Haman?
yeah. Can you be Esther?
Yeah.
Can you be the king?
I think I speed read
Haman.
the paper last year.
Oh yeah. Can you do?
I'll speed
no,
read it.
I'll be chorus then. All right. Let's
Okay.
do it. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so
We
give me
prepare better for the High Holy Days.
We do.
I promise.
You're welcome
Actually,
for that.
this is how we do it.
No, it's not. Okay, in the days of Achashverosh, who reigned over 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a banquet for the nobles and princes of the provinces, the power of Persia and Media. At the same time, Vashti, all right, made a banquet for the women. On the 7th day, when the king was merry with wine, he commanded to bring Vashti, the queen, before him wearing the royal crown. But she refused to come, and the king was very angry. He said to his wise men,
What shall we do to Queen Vashti because she has not performed my command?
and they answered, am I correct?
Vashti the queen has wronged not only the king but all the people who are under your rule.
For all the women will hear of her actions. Chorus. Multiple people, right?
Oh yeah, we can all do it. Because it's the
And
chorus.
shall despise their husbands.
Because she refused the king's command. Therefore, let a royal command be written that Vashti, all right, shall never again enter the presence of King Ahasuerus. And that the king choose a queen more deserving than she is. Then all the wives shall respect their husbands, whoever they be. What a fun story. The advice pleased the king, so they sent letters to every province according to its writing and to every people in their own language that every man should rule in his own house. Chapter 2. Sometime later, when the king's anger has subsided, he found he was missing Vashti.
All right.
So the king's servant said, "Let beautiful young virgins be sought for the king, and let the girl which pleases the king be queen in place of Vashti."
All right.
Ooh. The king liked the idea and agreed. Now in the capital, Shushan, lived a Jew by the name of Mordecai, whose family had come there as exiles from Jerusalem, and he brought up Esther. For she was an orphan. She was shapely and beautiful, and when her parents died, Mordecai had adopted her as his daughter. So when the king's decree was heard, and when many girls were gathering in Shushan, Esther, too, joined the king's harem. Now Esther had not revealed her people or her origins, for Mordecai had said it would be better that she should not mention it. Every day, Mordecai would walk by the court of the harem to see how Esther was doing. After more than 3 years, it was Esther's turn to go to King Ahasuerus. Can you imagine waiting for 3 years? He realized that Esther was different from all the other women, and she found grace and favor in his sight, so he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
All right.
I forgot for a while.
About this time, Mordecai overheard two of the king's eunuchs, Bigtan and Teresh, plotting to kill King Ahasuerus. He told Esther, and Esther informed the king. When the matter was investigated, it was found to be true, and they were both hanged. It was recorded in the king's records. Chapter 3.
We're going to hear it.
We're going to hear some of this.
Just part of it.
Just part of it.
All right. I'm gonna just warning. I'm gonna chant only the first verse, and then I'm gonna read the rest. All right. Here we go. Oh, this is the coolest Megillah, by the way. Hopefully, you get a chance to see.
Maybe after we can have people come look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Achar hadvarim ha'ele gidal hamelech Achashverosh et Haman ben Amedata hagigi v'yanasehu vayasem et kiso me'al kol hasarim asher ito. Now I gotta find it. Okay. V'kol ovdei hamelech asher b'shar hamelech koraham u'mishtachavehem lehaman ki ken tziva lo hamelech Mordechai lo yichra ve'lo yishtachaveh ve'yomru avdei hamelech asher b'shar hamelech leMordechai madua ata over et mitzvat hamelech Vayehi b'amram alav yom v'yom lo shama alehem vayagidu lahaman lirot hi'amdu divrei Mordechai higid lahem asher hu Yehudi vayar Haman hi ein Mordechai karav mishtachaveh lo וימלא המן חמה ויבז בינינו לשלח יד במרדכי לבדו כי הגידו לו את מרדכי ויבקש המן להשמיד את כל היהודים אשר בכל מלאכות אחשוורוש עם מרדכי בחודש הראשון היא חודש נישן בשנת 12 למלך אחשוורוש he feel poor who I think wait let's make sure he feel I want to make sure I finish the whole thing. Okay. Who hagorel lifnei Haman liyom lechodesh shneim asar hu chodesh Adar. Okay. Thank you. All right. Continue to read the English.
Sometime later, King Ahasuerus promoted Haman and put him in charge of the court. All the king's servants knelt or bowed low to Haman. But Mordecai would not kneel or bow, for he had told them that he is a Jew and would only bow to God. When Haman saw this, he was filled with anger, but he decided not to lay hands on Mordecai alone, having heard who his people were. Instead, Haman plotted to destroy all the Jews throughout the entire empire. Haman said, here we go, Haman.
This promotion means nothing to me so long as I see that Mordecai, the
Hooray!
Jew, sitting at the palace gate.
And Zeresh his wife and all his friends said to him, have a gallows made 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak to the king that Mordecai may be hanged on it. The idea pleased Haman, so he had the gallows made. Haman cast Purim, that is lots, to select the 13th day of the 12th month, that is the month of Adar. Then he said to King Ahasuerus,
There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of your kingdom, and their laws are different from those of every other people. They do not keep the king's laws. Therefore, it is not in your majesty's interest to tolerate them. If it please the king, let it be decreed that they may be destroyed. And I will also contribute 10,000 talents of silver to the king's treasuries.
So the king took his signet ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the enemy of the Jews. And the king said to him,
I give these people to you to deal with as you think fit.
So the decree was issued in the king's name and signed with the king's signet ring to destroy, massacre, and exterminate all the Jews, young and old, children and women, on that day. Chapter 4. When Mordecai discovered what had happened, he cried with a loud and bitter cry, and in every province, wherever the king's decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews and fasting and wailing. Mordecai told Esther what had happened and asked her to go to the king to plead with him for her people. But Esther replied, everyone knows that whoever comes before the king without being called is to be put to death, unless the king should hold out the golden scepter that they may live. And I have not been called to come to the king for a month.
Morty.
Do not think that you of all the Jews will escape with your life because you are in the king's palace. On the contrary, if you remain silent at this time, relief will come to the Jews from another quarter. And your ancestors' house shall be destroyed. But who knows, perhaps you have attained your royal position for such a crisis.
Then go, assemble all the Jews of Shushan and fast for me for 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. Then I will go to the king, though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. We've just decided Esther's going to be the narrator here because it's the book of Esther. So Mordecai went his way, and Esther did as she said. Did as Esther had said. Okay, chapter 5. On the third day, Esther put on her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the king's palace, and the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal palace. And when he saw Esther standing in the court, he was pleased and held out the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near, and the king said to her,
What do you wish, Queen Esther? And what is your request? It shall be given to you, even to half the kingdom.
Sir, if it seem good to the king, let the king and Haman come to a banquet that I am preparing for you. Then the king said,
Make Haman hurry, that he may do as you have said.
Chapter 6. That night the king could not sleep, and he ordered that the book of records be brought, and they were read before the king. And they read about Mordecai denouncing Bigtan and Teresh, the villains who had plotted to kill the king.
What honor and dignity has been done to Mordecai for this?
Let me check. Nothing was done for him, sir.
What? Nothing? Who is in the court at present?
Now Haman had just entered the outer court of the king's palace. So the king's servant said to him, Behold, Haman is standing in the court.
Haman? Let him come in.
So Haman came in, and the king said to him,
What shall be done to the man whom the king wishes to honor?
Whom would the king wish to honor more than me? Sir, for the man whom the king wishes to honor, let the king's royal clothing be brought, and the horse the king rides on with the royal crown set upon its head, and let his clothing and horse be delivered at the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may dress the man whom the king wishes to honor and lead him on horseback through the streets of the city, proclaiming before him, Thus shall be done to the man whom the king wishes to honor.
Excellent. Excellent. Hurry and take the clothing. And I
love it.
Excellent. Hurry and take.
Excellent.
You feel like an Easter mustache swirl.
Hurry and take the clothing and the horse, as you have said, and do so to Mordecai the Jew. Omit no detail of what you have said. All right.
Well played, Haman.
Yeah, just so you know, it says in parentheses, gasping, flummoxed, angry, purple, indignant, speechless.
Well done. Well done. So he had to take the clothing and the horse and dress Mordecai, hooray, and lead him on horseback through the streets of the city and proclaim before him,
Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor.
He brought Mordecai, hooray, back to the palace gate and then hurried home, his head covered in mourning. And he told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. But they said to him, If Mordecai, before whom you have stumbled, is a Jew, you will not prevail against him. You will surely fall before him. Whilst they were consoling him, the king's eunuchs came and hurried to bring him to the banquet that Esther, had prepared. Chapter 7.
Out of 10.
I just want to say, some places read the whole scroll, guys. Okay. So the king and Haman, boo, came to feast with Esther, yay, the queen. And the king asked Esther, yay, once more.
Esther, what is your petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted even to half of the kingdom.
If I have found favor in your sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given as my petition and my people as my request. For we have been sold, me and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to be wiped out.
What? Who is he? And where is he that presumes in his heart to ever do this?
The adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman. Then Haman cringed in terror before the king and queen. And one of the eunuchs said to the king, Behold, there is a gallows 50 cubits high, standing at Haman's home. Boo! Which he built for Mordecai, whose word saved the king.
Perfect. Hang him on it.
So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. And the king's anger was abated. Chapter 8. That very day, King Ahasuerus gave the estate of Haman, enemy of the Jews, to Esther, the queen. Mordecai presented himself before the king after Esther, explained how they were related, and the king took off his ring, which he had taken back from Haman, and gave it to Mordecai.
Hooray!
And Esther put him in charge of Haman's estate. Then she said, If it please the king, let it be decreed to revoke the plans devised by Haman to destroy the Jews who are in all the king's provinces. For how can I bear to see the evil and destruction that shall come to my people? The king Ahasuerus said to Esther and Mordecai,
Unfortunately, once a decree has been decreed, okay, that's bad sentence structure. Once a decree has been decreed in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring, it can never be revoked. However, you may write about the Jews in the king's name as you think best and seal it with the king's ring.
The king's scribes were called, and they wrote in the king's name to every province according to its writing, and to every people in their own language, and to the Jews according to their writing and according to their language, and they sealed it with the king's ring, permitting the Jews in each city to gather together and to fight for their lives, killing anybody that attacked them. And Mordecai went out from the king's presence in royal clothes of blue and white, with a magnificent crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad, and in every province and in every city the Jews enjoyed light and gladness, happiness and honor. The words we started Havdalah with are from that verse. Chapter 9. And so on the 13th day of the 12th month Adar, on the very day that the enemies of the Jews had planned to have power over them, the very opposite happened. And so it was that they dealt with their enemies on the 13th of Adar and rested on the 14th, making it a day of feast-making and merrymaking, except in Shushan, the capital, where the fighting lasted 2 days, and they killed 500 men, including, Parshandata, Dalphon, Aspada, Parada, Adalia, Aridata, Parshmada, Arisai, Aridai, and Vaizada. The 10 sons of Haman, the enemy of the Jews. We only give them one breath. And only on the 15th day of Adar did they rest, making it a day of feasting and gladness. Then Mordecai sent letters to all the Jews that were in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, both near and far, that they should observe the 14th day of the month Adar, or the 15th day each year, to remember when the month was turned from sorrow to joy, and from mourning to a holiday, that they should celebrate days of feasting and joy, and of sending presents to one another and gifts to the poor. Chapter 10. And Mordecai the Jew ranked next to King Ahasuerus. He was great among the Jews and was popular with the multitude of his people, seeking their good and speaking for their welfare.
Yay!
The end.
Give it up to Rabbi for Rabbi
Talia!
Awesome.
You make a great Haman. A great Haman.
All right, what are we up to?
Okay. All right, so in a moment, we're going to wrap up here and move to our social hall for merrymaking and very competitive trivia. I know I came to win. So I am paper after all, whatever. So we are going to move from here shortly. If anybody does want to see this Megillah, we found this Megillah in our temple in a fire safe, and it is the most ornately written Megillah. So if you want to take a closer look after, you should come up and we'll show it to you. It's really, really special. If you're excited about scribal traditions like I am, you're going to love it. So you can come take a look at the Megillah, and then we're going to move up here to the social hall afterwards. So just a brief word to tie together the story of Purim to where we are in life today. We know there's a lot happening in the world that makes it hard to feel like merrymaking. And I remember when we lived in Jerusalem, the Purim of 2012, so I don't know what year that would have been in the Hebrew calendar, it was Shushan Purim because Jerusalem is a walled city, so they do it the next day. And I went to the Kotel, I went to the Wailing Wall, the Western Wall. I've never called it the Wailing Wall. I don't know why that just came out of my mouth. And I'm standing there. Of course, I'm on the women's side, as I am. And I look over, and Spider-Man is davening at the Kotel. And I had my camera with me, and so I have a picture of Spider-Man with his hand up on the wall, offering a prayer. And it's a reminder to me, I keep kind of returning to this image that, even in places in our world that feel really broken and really scary and where there's a lot of sadness, and even if that place is actually us, there can sometimes be room for merrymaking. And so we as Jews do a lot of holding things in tension. We break a glass at a wedding to remind us of the brokenness of the world and to remind us that there's work to be done to repair the world. And so at Purim, we remember that there is actually something really powerful about choosing to find joy where we can. So even with all of the complexity of the world as it is right now and what everyone is experiencing in their own ways, we know that actually Purim could be like a tiny oasis in time for us. So if we are able, please let us find some merrymaking to be had this Purim. You're playing the guitar. Are we going to play another song? Oh, good. Okay. We're getting ready to rush. Aren't these fun?
No.
Okay.
Let's join together in the social hall.
You want to explain anything about it?
I'm happy. We'll explain more when we get into the social hall. There's going to be some rules to kind of follow, but let's, Lindsay, do we have any rules that to do it now, or we'll just do it when we get in there?
Some of you reserved tables, you might see your names on there because they were some bigger people, bigger parties, not bigger people. Listen, you're all my competition.
Yeah, we become competition.
We got the Cavs.
So some of you might see names on tables. It's mostly just for some of the bigger parties. So grab a seat, make a team. Our quiz master's in there, and she's going to give us instructions. If her name is Caitlin, there's food, there's drinks. What else am I supposed to say?
Enjoy.
Let's
Thank you.
enjoy.
Let's
Let's make some
enjoy
merriment.
Hot Purim Sameach. We'll see you in the social hall.
Anyone's gonna come
Thank
look
you,
at our
everybody.
Megillah? Come look at the Megillah. It's really cool.
Also,
It's really cool.
this sounds like cartoon.
I
like,
know.
It sounds like cartoon, like sneaking sound.
It does. Okay, check it out.
feels like Pink Panther.
Look at this.
Oh,
Have you ever seen one like this? It's so beautiful.
When is this from?
I don't know. I actually don't know anything about its provenance, do you? We found it, and it needs a new top of the 8s.
Yeah.
So it was actually, I think it's probably been out of commission for a while, but it's really
Right.
beautiful.
You said you guys found it in a fire.
We had a fire safe, yeah. There were a couple of tours that were stored there, and this was in there.
Yeah, I've never seen
But look at
one
the
with
top of the columns. It's like really
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I've never seen one.
I know. I know. Me neither.
This is not
Are you gonna come look at our Megillah? Yes, come on. Check it out.
Elliot's not helping
it's got
with that, but I
these
wanna
are very special. It's exactly, and like every crown has extra decoration. I've never seen one like this before. It's also like so clear and so large print. It's a dream. See God, it's hiding.
I mean, it's not only bedazzled here, but like, these are unbelievable.
You're so precise.
Not because of that.
We don't know. We don't know the provenance of it. No, but we want to get the 8s repaired because the top is broken. But I mean, it's like a dream to look at. It's so large print, so clear. I know. I know.
It's really gorgeous.
Thank you for sharing my enthusiasm.
It's amazing that you guys found it. It's really cool.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I've never seen anything like that. I know. Well, and you'll see this is a Melech scroll, so every column starts with Hamelech, the king. Which is cool to note.
There's a new scroll was just created.
Somebody commissioned a
commissioned
Malka scroll.
So it starts with a Malka with a.
So it'll either say Vashti or Esther or Hamelka. It's very cool. They also had it commissioned with the cantillation marks in it, so it has all the vowels and the trope in it also, which makes it very user friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't this cool?
Yeah, very cool.
All right, thanks for indulging me, everybody. Glad to share it with you.
Super cool. We just came to look just in case there was a trivia question about
You never know. You never know. See, that's smart. You're cramming, and that's a smart plan. You want to come take a look?
I did
Come on
briefly
over.
want to take Sofer training, and this is a help.
This is. I know. You come around if you want. Yeah.
I want to touch it more, but I haven't washed my hands. and I
That's
feel
fine.
bad.
No, I understand. We know where this is stored, so we can always take it back out. We have a fire safe up in the front office, and so as part of our stuff, we found there were a couple of Torahs in there for safekeeping.
I'm finding all kinds
I can't even imagine what you're
doing
finding in the
incredible work.
library. Yeah.
You may find some congregants in the basement.
Hiding out. Yeah. So,
Paintings
You're
in
gonna
the
start
attic.
finding stuff you go,
Oh,
where
yeah.
did this come
It's
from?
wild.
Lots of treats.
Lots
of treasures.
I
Yeah.
guess I'll ask.
See all
Do you
the
guys have, like, an
all
art
these
of this
like
or
crowns
something?
on
We do,
top.
and we've got
This
folks
is
that are doing it for,
unusual.
like,
You
art
usually don't
preservation.
see them.
Yeah.
Because you've got all those.
How old is this?
So this is unusual to have these crowns.
Yeah.
What about the vowels too?
Well, no vowels.
What are these?
They look like vowels, but they're just kind of decorations. They're just
Really?
to enhance it. Yeah, no vowels on this one. So
It's very cool.
that's why I had my cheat sheet up there with the vowels. But yeah,
That's interesting.
What will you do with all
But
these
they're
treasures?
different.
we're gonna keep this one. Tell you that much. Yeah. These are like
How old
precious.
do you think that is?
It's probably, I would say 60, 70 years old at least.
Yeah, at least.
Yep. I'm finding some stuff that is like from the 30s.
Amazing.
Yeah, you
Where
may
are
find
you finding it?
I'm the chair of the library
unusual
committee.
stuff
Oh,
down there.
And I'm
really?
finding stuff that was like put away in boxes, I think in the Euclid Avenue Temple, that was moved. I don't think
Really?
it's been picked up since.
That's interesting.
Well,
yeah.
we're glad to have you. That's
This looks
so
like-
good.
I'm Myra Stone, you're,
Lisa Edelstein is my name.
Hi, you've
This
joined
is
us for
Rick.
Wednesday morning a few
A
times.
couple times, but
So
then
nice to have you.
I got so I wasn't able to.
Well, you're always welcome. There's no
I
like,
got so busy.
you can pop in and pop out whenever you know.
Is that right?
Yeah. There's no.
Cassandra keeps sending me the invites, and I told her I was so sorry that I wasn't able
No, but there's a lot of people who get them and are not able to.